Denning Law School, Mr. Josefa Muqaddam, Pro Vice Chancellor, Denning Law School, Mr. Simon S.K., Learned Dean of Law Program, University of London, Honorable Judges of Sindh High Court, my brother, Mr. Justice Sajjad Ali Shah, the former Judge Supreme Court of Pakistan, dear graduates, media persons, and ladies and gentlemen. It is wonderful to be here with you today to celebrate this graduation ceremony. I'm also thankful to the management of Denning Law School for inviting me as a chief guest of this delightful and lovely event. It is well known that the convocation is a memorable day when we celebrate success of fresh graduates. It is my pleasure to congratulate all young graduates with the core of my heart on completion of their law degrees from University of London. My dear graduates, I know that you have made immense efforts and worked hard in order to earn the law degrees, but at the same time, you should not forget the hard work of your dedicated tutors, as well as the role and efforts of your alma mater, Denning Law School, which facilitate you with the firm commitment. I also congratulate the parents of young graduates present in the ceremonial hall, including myself, with the conviction that without their moral support, motivation, and obviously the financial assistance, the ambition of securing degree of law from University of London could not be achieved. Though you have completed your graduation, but in the field of law, you will always remain as a student of law. The founder of the nation, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, in his address to the students in All India Muslim Student Conference on 15th November 1942, insisted to strive, work, and only work for satisfaction with patience, humbleness, and serve the nation. In another message of NWFP Muslim Students Federation in April 1943, the Quaid said, without education, it is complete darkness, and with education, it is a light. Education is a matter of life and death to our nation. In his another address at Islamia College, Peshawar, on 12th April 1948, our Quaid again motivated the students to develop a sound sense of discipline, character, initiative, solid academic background, and devotion to the studies. The name of your institution is Denning Law School, which reminds us of a great personality, Lord Alfred Thompson Denning, who was a very popular jurist and greatest English judge of modern times. He was also known as protector and guardian of human rights. Lord Denning, in his book, Road to Justice, said that the justice is not something you can see. It is not the temporal, but eternal. How does man know what is justice? It is not the product of his intellect, but of his spirit. The nearest we can get to defining justice is to say that is what the right-minded members of the community, those who have right spirit within them, believe to be fair. According to him, great responsibility rests upon the lawyers who represent the right-minded members of the community in seeking to do what is fair between man and man, between man and the state, and they can only do this by means of just laws justly administered. I'm sure that after this convocation, all of you will apply for enrollment to Sindh Bar Council and after acquiring license to practice, enter into the arena of law profession. But I remind you, from day one, the competition will begin. So in order to be updated, you should read different laws and precedents, learn art of leading evidence, drafting of pleading, and other legal documents, research work, and also maintain a notebook of case law that will quite helpful for you to enhance your legal acumen, which is an essential attribute of a good lawyer. On a lighter note, lawyer is a person who writes 10,000 words document and still calls it brief. There is another quote. There is another quote that lawyers are the only persons in whom ignorance of law is not punished. Even in the case of defeat, your conscience must be clear that in the sense of right and wrong, in order to safeguard the interests of your client, you have discharged your professional duties with utmost honesty and dedication and fought out the case by tooth and nail with proper facts and applicable laws, but not with ignorance of law. In the early stage of your career, you should dedicate your precious time to the profession for learning good advocacy rather than wasting your time in the bar rooms. The knowledge of law has no limits. It is like an ocean. Nobody can claim that he is well versed to all the laws. Basically, it is on job training. And each day you will learn something new in the courtroom. The prime responsibility of an advocate is to facilitate the court for decision of the case in accordance with the law. Every case would be a new challenge and test for you in which either you will win or you will lose, but the results depend on your legal acumen and preparation of your brief. Sometimes, in a dark case, due to art of advocacy, the client wins the case. At the same time, never be overconfident that you know everything. The great philosopher Socrates said, "The only true wisdom is knowing that you know nothing." He further said, "To find yourself, think for yourself." You are the future of legal fraternity, and I can foresee that amongst you, many future judges are sitting in the ceremonial hall, but it will be subject to your litmus test of hard-working, enthusiasm, and devotion to the profession. You also keep in mind that the esteemed profession of law is not meant for money-making only. You are a star in making, and the sky is your limit. Fly high, and may all your dreams come true. But at the same time, I hope that while advocating and fighting the cases of haves with handsome professional fee, you will also dedicate some time for fighting the rights of have-nots, who may not have the capacity to pay your desired professional fee, but when you will fight and get justice for them, even charging less fee or without fee, you will feel an eternal satisfaction and contentment. That would be a great charity of your profession for the poor and needy people who cannot afford unlimited slabs of professional fee for justice and protection of their fundamental rights. Even though it is very rare in the present form of practice of law, but the Lord Denning, while defining professional etiquettes, said, "When the points of law arise, it is the duty of counsel to inform court not only of the cases in his favor, but also of those against him in pursuance of his duty to see that justice is done. So far as the decorum of the court is concerned, Lord Denning conversed that the lawyer must not only treat the judge with courtesy, that goes without saying, but he must also treat his opponent with courtesy and the witness too. Many cases have been won by courtesy and lost by rudeness. In my vision, the first good lesson for new entrants in the field of law is how to maintain the decorum of the court. The canon of practice means the rule of professional ethics for the lawyers. It is necessary for you to know the norms of professional etiquettes. You should be mindful that in profession of law, what really matters is the reputation and image of an advocate. Plenty of time is consumed to build up a good image and reputation by an advocate, but it is spoiled within no time as a result of professional misconduct. Don't ever try to mislead the court, but always facilitate to find out the truth. Patience, courage, and tolerance are the best tools of a good lawyer, including the courtesy with the opposite lawyer, because harsh attitude leaves no good gesture. Therefore, attitude must be within the professional ethics. A good lawyer cannot fight unless he knows the factual position of the case. Also avoid scandalous pleadings, concealment of facts from the court, appear in court with proper court dress and relevant law books, present your case with proper decency and perfection, and avoid unnecessary adjournments and contemptuous act. Timely availability in the courtroom is also a value-added virtue of a good lawyer. Again, on a lighter note, sometimes last but not the least, always switch off your mobile phones in the courtroom, which awfully distract the proceedings on account of ringing very enjoyable ringtones of old and new songs of lawyer choice. And again, on a lighter note, sometimes such ringtones fascinates and refresh the forgotten memory of the judges and take them in flashback. But I hope you will switch off your cell phones in the courtrooms and fascinate the judges with your forceful and logical arguments rather than the ringtones. I wish you all the best and pray for your success with the great hope that you will prove your worth as a renowned lawyer and serve the noble profession of law with great excellence. In the end, I would like to draw your attention to a famous inspirational quote of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, that with faith, discipline, and selfless devotion to duty, there is nothing worthwhile you can't achieve. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Mr. Justice Muhammad Ali Mazhar. It is indeed a pleasure to have you as our honorable chief guest for tonight. As before we move towards the evening, I would like to share for the audience to acknowledge that our class of 2022 comprises of 179 candidates proving their brilliance in University of London LLB Honour Programme with an adequate amount of distinctions and merits. Dear graduates, besides your escalating emotions and excitement, you also share similar sentiments and a common bond of educational experience with those experts who have worked tirelessly and left no stone unturned in helping and encouraging you to attain these accolades as an integral part of Denning Law School and its stature. Even today, you see them on their toes to ensure smooth and seamless execution of operation to make this day as memorable and immaculate as possible. Please give a huge round of applause to your super dynamic and committed teachers, mentors, and members of the faculty who have infused in you traits of perseverance, intelligence, character, and the culmination of you in whatever you have groomed into becoming today. Carrying the prestige of being the largest center of University of London in Pakistan, we value the contribution, understanding, and endless support that we have received from the personnel